Boo boo bang boom, bang bang boom. Hell yeah, son. And we're live.
We're live.
We
Okay,
are live.
nice.
Um,
Mm.
well, here we are.
How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing good, man.
Yeah?
Um, I'm doing pretty good. I'm enjoying my last few days that I have of freedom before school starts again. And I'm just trying my best to not think about what's coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I thought about our conversation last time. I think we had it like after the stream had ended, but we talked about coaching and you looking for coaching jobs, and I was just thinking about it yesterday because I saw uh, this guy I follow on Instagram who is a hurdles coach, and he used to coach high school for years. He coached high school up in like the Sacramento area, and
Yeah.
then he moved into like coaching college. I think he got a job at San Jose, and then he became an assistant coach at Hawaii. I don't know which Hawaii school. And then now he's just got another job on the East Coast somewhere. And I was like, just thinking about the journey that he's had from high school to college. But he was like constantly like marketing himself, and I think he was always reaching out to other people. So that's like, you know, one of the more important things to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Just putting yourself out there and making sure that people know that you're good. That's what's important. You got to have that swag about
Yeah,
you. Kind of what you do about everything, really. You got to have a little bit of swag. Um
yeah. It's like
let
confidence and
yeah, let people know that you're good.
exactly. Yeah, you're confident in your ability. Like like I said last time, like I it was one of those things. Coaching was one of those things where I was like subjectively good at it because I felt like I was doing a good job and I knew um, like the sport and the event. And then I was objectively good at it too because my athletes were like constantly improving and constantly like bringing results that were not just good for themselves but good against other people too.
Hmm.
So that was it's nice that you have something like that. And it's like I don't know, I for me I felt more nervous coaching than I ever did competing.
Yeah,
Like
same.
that secondhand like embarrassment or nervousness, right? Because there's nothing
Yeah,
that
cuz
you can do.
yeah, exactly.
So it was yeah, it was really hard. And then you run into the something that I for like the first like 2 months or so, or even like the first couple weeks of each season that I coached, I found myself like over coaching, you know? Like
Hmm.
each season that started in the very beginning, I would give them like too many cues all at once, you know?
Yeah.
And that was a learning experience, you know? You give them like one thing every time. Like for you, for each throw, hey, work on your, I don't know, your pivot, or hey, do this one thing. And oh, you have to do this, make sure, blah, blah, blah. You want to give it to them like one at a time so they can focus on it. You don't want to give them like five things at once because then they're just going to get all screwed up, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly right. And especially when you start getting into you know, later in high school, like senior, junior, seniors and college athletes,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of had to start, having conversations with them and figuring out what kind of athletes they are because, those cues are different for everyone.
Right.
And so one person might be trying to work on one cue for a whole week, whereas another person picks something up just like that.
Yeah.
And then it's just all about like rhythm and timing and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
being able to I guess, like fine tune your coaching for the types of athletes that you have on your
Yeah,
team is really important.
yeah. It was uh, it was definitely a learning experience for sure. In that first year coaching, it's more than just like telling people. I don't know. It's one thing to be good at something, but just because you're really great at something or that you were a fantastic thrower or sprinter doesn't mean that you'll be a great coach. You
Yeah,
know, like just because you were the best, NFL Hall of Famer or NBA Hall of Famer or whatever, doesn't mean that you'd make the best coach, right? So,
yeah,
um, but yeah, I really enjoyed coaching, and it was a really cool learning experience in terms of like communication because you have to learn how to communicate things that are like expressed in nuance, right? Like the things that they're doing, like sometimes the things that they're doing wrong are huge, and you're like, that was totally fucked. Like you need to fix that, and they'd be like, yeah, I
yeah,
felt that, and then there would be like, hey, you know, I'd always ask them like, do you feel what was wrong on that one? And I would have them explain it to me. They're
yeah.
like, yeah. I'm like, explain what you think went wrong. And sometimes they would, hit it right on the mark, and other times they wouldn't have a clue. Um,
Yeah, because
but
that's really important is for them to like understand, not just hear what's wrong, but like fully understand what's they're doing. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
kind of trying to link that like proprioception of the body to what's going on in the mind. You know.
yep, yeah, because they have to be able to feel what's going on, and especially with uh, with hurdles, what I would tell them is like, you have 10 hurdles, and if you make a mistake on one, you have to be able to make a split-second decision and correction because you'll mess up on one thing, you have to recognize it, know what you did wrong, and then immediately fix it for the next one like that,
Yeah.
you know? And you have to be able to do that without getting so outside of your mind that you screw yourself up. It was that was probably one of my favorite pieces in coaching the hurdles was like, it's kind of like, I always use the life metaphor, you know?
Hmm.
It's like you have to, just because you screwed up, you can't focus on the last thing because you have another thing coming up. And you focus too much on the thing that's back there, you're not going to be able to, clear this next one. Um, but yeah, I was just thinking about that because I saw that guy post. He had gotten a new job, I think somewhere in New Hampshire. I'm not sure which school, but um, it's like that's such a huge move from Hawaii
Yeah.
to New
No.
Hampshire. It's not even across the country, it's across an ocean and a country. It's like halfway across the world at that point.
Basically.
Yeah. Um, it's probably, I wonder if it would be the same distance if he continued going west, if he went east. You know what I mean? Instead of crossing over the Pacific.
Let's see.
I'm sure it's probably longer to go over Asia and through Europe over the Atlantic to New Hampshire, but can't be by much.
Hawaii to New Hampshire. Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Can't find a way there. Well, give me a plane ride.
Let's go to maps.
I'm on maps.
I'm going to zoom all the way the hell out. So that's Hawaii. Hawaii to there. Let's do Hawaii. Let's do. How would you do that?
You know what?
Directional.
I don't think it's as far as we think it is.
Yeah, it's looking like it's not. It's still pretty
Yeah.
far. I mean, the freaking it's. I was thinking like the entire Pacific Ocean, but then I also kind of forgot that Hawaii is like right in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
So, um, oh, my cat's yelling at me because I have the door closed. Let me let him in.
Okay.
Probably needs to take a dump.
Ooh.
Come on in. Come on in. Come on in.
Gonna take
Right
some
here. There you
fiber
go.
gummies. Mmm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a big old cat. My
Oh
cats were
yeah.
walking around somewhere. I don't know where they
Look at
are
this,
now.
Gershwin. You're famous.
Oh my goodness. Gershwin loves to be held on his belly.
Oh yeah. He kind of gets over it after a while,
Yeah.
but he like actually puts up with it, and he likes being. He's like ticklish on his belly.
Yeah.
So there you go. See you later. Get out of here. He's probably gonna take a fucking nasty dump now, guaranteed. Um, I mean, it's still probably pretty far. Like, how many miles is
Oh
that?
yeah.
I wonder how. Let me get a ruler. How many inches on the screen is it? Yeah, it's probably way farther. And then hold on.
It says 4,990 miles is the distance from Hawaii to New Hampshire.
Let's see here. And then we go from. It's about 2.5 times the distance. I like how we spent so much time trying to figure that out. All I did.
It's important.
It is. But yeah. So. Big move. Big opportunity. Anyways,
Yeah.
what I wanted to talk about was, since I never play Call of Duty anymore.
And I don't either. And we should just talk about the new season.
Yeah.
We have
Like
no real personal information about it, just
No.
reading about it and other people's information,
No.
experiences. So, yeah, let's make our decision based off of that.
Yeah, I think it's great. Also, I really want to drink this, but I also kind of want to savor it for lunch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, was that your last one?
No, it's not. It'll be the first one
Oh,
of the day, though.
mm.
And I just had coffee.
Yeah, I just had coffee. I brought this, I drank this last night.
Just the empty can. Nice.
Yeah, just the empty can.
Um, but anyways, I can figure that out later. So I'm just looking at. I know that there were a couple new things dropped on the or updates, I should say, for Call of Duty in the Warzone
Yeah.
patch and update. So few of them there were new perks that were introduced. I'm not sure if they got rid of any perks to make room for these new ones. But the perks are there's like a combat scout perk
Yeah.
which allows you to essentially see where people are. I think you can know where they are behind walls and whatnot. And then another one was tempered. I don't know what that one is. Let's look
Let's
that up.
see. I'm looking it up right now. The other is tempered, which looks to fundamentally change armor values within Warzone. When an operator is under the effects of tempered, their armor plates are heavier and more reinforced. Only 2 of them are needed for an operator to be considered fully armored. Oh,
Interesting.
compared to the standard 3.
Yeah.
In other words, tempers allows each armor plate to absorb 75 points of damage instead of the standard 50.
Okay. So, I mean that's 50% more. That's interesting. I like those perks. That's really cool that they would do that. But I think they are probably trying to. It's funny that they would do this combat scout. Will act as a new recon perk in Warzone that allows a user to better keep track of enemy players. According to the Season 5 blog post, Posted by Activision, players using Combat Scout will receive a burst of infield intel as damaging an enemy briefly highlights the foe in bright orange and automatically pings them. No more smashing your ping button to pieces. So the orange highlight will only be visible to the user and not the rest of their team. So it's interesting that so last time we talked about the cheat and how a lot of people are complaining about the cheat, and I know I've said that I don't think it's like, I think it's a big problem, but I don't think it's like the biggest problem, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's funny that they're like, oh, how are we going to deal with the cheaters in the game? What about an anti-cheat? No, let's just give them these perks, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like they're just putting another Band-Aid on things to make it, I don't know, easier to deal with the hacking in the game. I think that's their response, which I think is super shitty. I think that's really stupid. They're like, again, unless they're trying to do this as a placeholder until they really get to the root of the problem, but we'll see if that actually happens. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the other stuff that goes into this.
Mm-hmm.
New weapons that you can get. A stupid cane.
You can get a cane?
The Tech 9.
Oh, yeah, they did a couple new guns. What else did they do? Okay. I do think, like I said, I do like that they're adding new perks because it's like, it is something new. And for the most part, like, that's the problem. So the biggest problem, again, that I think is like plaguing Warzone and the game in general is that it's like there's really no creativity. It's like everything that they do is, I don't know, just like minor facelifts. There's no big changes. Like when you think about how the game is going and how long it's been out, and you think of the competitors like Apex or Fortnite or other BRs like PUBG even, there's like, it's the same map. Everything is completely the same. I don't know. It would be different if they like kept the same geological location, but like, I don't know, jumbled up everything. So maybe like Superstore is in a completely different area of the map. Farmland is on the other side, I don't know.
Yeah, we talked about that last time where, when we were watching these, big name streamers, they tend to land only at certain spots, and that's just because like that's where everyone else drops. That's where everyone's gonna get the most kills.
Mm-hmm.
There's still like a large portion of the map that is highly unused.
Yeah.
Even for like the whole game, but just like the drops in general too.
Yep. And it's they need to like redistribute the I don't know, the loot. I don't know, what would you call that? A redistribution of the loot. So they go those places because everybody else goes to those places because there's more money. There's a higher concentration of loot and money in those places, right?
Yeah.
But if you were to do that in, I think, downtown or, downtown has an Activision Plaza, which actually has some, like, a bunch of stuff. But if you were to do that in, like, farmland, or any other place that's, like, kind of just underutilized, I think there would be a change to how people are playing the game. Because like you said, there's just large portions of the map that just nobody goes to unless the zone pulls that way,
Do they not change up, like, it's not like random loot, like drops? I mean, I know it's random, but like, do like certain areas get more loot than others?
Oh yeah.
Like constantly?
Oh yeah. 100%.
That's interesting because that's one thing that I think Apex does really well is each map, like a new zone has different high level loot, and it'll tell you on the map when you drop in like this spot has high level loot. This spot over here has low level loot. Like, and so I think that would be really interesting. You know,
Yeah,
put it there, put it on the map, and like just saying like
like hotspots or something.
this is a good spot to jump if you want a lot of money, or this is like kind of like a not so good spot over here, and just like change it up. It wouldn't. I don't think it would take that much.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, for the most part, I'm sure things do change, you know. But for the most part, it's like areas are pretty certain areas are pretty concentrated in their loot distribution. So, I mean, when we're thinking about ways to fix like enjoyability, because that's the other thing. It's just like the game just kind of gets you play like 2 or 3 games, and you're like, okay, now this feels like work. You know,
Yeah.
like that first game, you're like, oh, okay, we got creamed. Like, but it's warm up, or maybe you even have a good game. You're like, okay, that was fun. Let's do it again. Let's try this time. And then after like the
Mhm.
third one, you're like, this is like okay, this is like too much going on. It's too much work. You know what I mean? And it's just the same thing over and over and over again.
Yeah. Well, and the only thing that they really add is this new point of interest, which I saw a funny TikTok on. It's like,
Yeah, you sent me that.
what is this? Like, is this the only thing they add?
Yeah,
And then the other thing that they did was change the gulag, and I mean, the only time you're gonna be in the gulag is when you die.
yeah,
So it's like, what's the point of that?
yeah. You're spending like all this time. You're changing something where you're going to be spending, I don't
Like
know,
a fraction of the
a
time, you know?
fraction of the gameplay. You know, it's like it seems pretty inverted. Spending all this time changing, giving new area for the gulag, which is a place where we're not going to be all that much. Well, some people will probably be there a lot, like me, but you know, actual time spent there is not going to be that high.
Yeah.
I agree. It's silly. Um, but for the most part, it's just like quality of life type things or quality of play type things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think it's super funny that everybody's been complaining about the freaking cheater problem, and so they just Activision Blizzard introduces their own kind of like legal cheat wall hack type thing to
Yeah.
the game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's
I didn't even really think of it like that, actually, the combat scout.
yeah,
But that's actually pretty funny, yeah.
you know. That's all it is. That's all it
That's
is.
really all it is, yeah.
And that's what they've been doing this entire time. Like for the first like 6 months, the game was out. It was okay. This is a new map. It's a BR mode. It's Call of Duty. It's something old like Call of Duty that we all know, but it's also something new, and it's exciting. Yada yada yada. And then you get to like 8 months in, you're like, okay, I think it would be cool if they did this. And then a year, and you're like, oh man, I wonder when they're gonna change this. And now we're like 18 months in, I think, just about 18 months in, and nothing has changed. The only thing that they've done is like at every patch they added new guns. This one they've done new perks. They've done some points of interests, and then with this one, like you said the last time we spoke, it just feels lazy. Like with that one point of interest, it just feels super lazy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, it really does.
is your house getting broken into or something?
No, I don't know. Sounds
Maybe
like it. Maybe.
you need to go check it out.
I'll just put this back
Well,
on.
you live in Portland, so
Yeah.
maybe you're getting robbed.
Ooh.
I hope not.
Well, if it is, I'll just throw these
You got a
fiber
shot
gummies
put?
at them.
Oh yeah.
Hard as
Just
rock.
oh, I bet. And just turn their stomach into stone so they can't shit, so they can't run away. How'd you detain him?
Oh.
I constipated him.
I force fed him.
I
a
force
whole
fed
bunch
him
of
fiber gummies.
fiber gummies.
Oh man. Um, but yeah, it's I like did a video. I recorded a video yesterday or a couple days ago, and I posted it yesterday on my YouTube channel. And just even talking about it, I don't know if I like included this in like the final video, but just talking about it, I just started getting bored. You know.
Yeah, because there's nothing really to talk about. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not good anymore.
Yeah. It's Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, even just like talking about all these issues, like I got really like pumped up when I started recording and doing this like little, I don't know, vlog type thing or whatever you want to call it. But towards the end, I was like, even now, I'm just kind of like losing my energy to just talk about it. I don't know, and it's really such a bummer because like I do love the game, and I even now I miss playing it because it was a lot of fun. I would just hop on and play a couple games, and
Yeah,
you know, but yeah, I think there's some serious changes that they need to make, and as somebody that just plays it casually, um, there are a couple things that I've seen that like would just help the quality of the gameplay, and then there are things like in the solos game mode, which I didn't really play all that much of, um, but I did notice that it was like some problems, and the thing that people do complain about as well is like one solos, the loadouts are still $10,000, which is like ridiculous. You know,
yeah,
it makes sense for quads. I think what they should do is you have your BR and then you have quads, trios, duos, and solos. For quads, make it $10,000, right? Or maybe even a little bit more, like 15. I'm sure you could like I don't, if you go to a good place, you can find that pretty quickly, you know, because each
yeah.
person can find like around 3 grand fairly quickly, especially in the beginning of the game. Um, so you could do
And
that. You make it a tiered
so
system.
also the loadout, like when you buy it, like the whole team can use it, right? This is
Yeah.
probably a dumb question, but it's
Mm-hmm.
not like you use it and then it just goes away. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because that makes sense. Because then you have four people going out finding cash, and then they can all come together and just like distribute it to get the loadout.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, and it'll state like, if we're in a team of three, like it's you, me, and Edgar, right? Like I buy a loadout, we pool our money, we buy a loadout, and then you two can get the loadout, and then I don't. Let's say like, oh, you know what? I'm good with this one. Like I'm for whatever reason, I'm good with my ground loot guns. If I don't use it, the loadout will stay there.
Mm,
You know, um, it'll only disappear unless all of us use it. But I think they should implement a tiered system where they make like quads the loadouts are like 12,000. And like I said, I think you can find that pretty quickly in a team of four. For trios, it's, you know, 9,000, duo, 6. And then for solos, it should be closer to like, I don't know, like 4 or something,
yeah,
3,000 or something, you know, 2,500. I don't know. Um, because that's just like, there's so much time that you're spending in like the early game of solos just getting your loadout.
yeah,
Like that's the point. That's the part that people play for when they're playing Warzone. The first thing that they're trying to do is get their loadout, and that's when the gameplay begins. So making it easier to do that, I think, is one way that they can like increase the quality of life in terms of the gameplay. You know,
Oh, I totally agree. Yeah.
or just I don't know, just making it like you can drop in with your loadout, right? You choose your loadout, and that's it. You just drop in, and then if you die, your loot's on the ground, and then if somebody wants to take those, they can. So if I die in like Superstore, right, and then I go to the gulag and I make it out, and then I come back, like either my weapons are there and I can take those, or the other player decided, hey, I actually like these weapons, and now I have to deal with the other person's weapons.
Yeah. You know what might also be really interesting is, keep the loadout from the buy stations, like in the buy station, but just make them free or like something like that, and then distribute the buy stations like equally or whatever. So then,
Mm,
there's that, not that really sense of I need to drop here to get certain loot to get a lot of cash,
yeah,
where the cash is just then supplementary for like the UAVs, the armor plates,
yeah,
things like that.
yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
You could do that, or just like they do have loadout drops. I think it's after like the first circle closes in, you get a free loadout drop.
Yeah.
Um, so you could just continue to wait for that. But sometimes it's like, you know, the big thing is like you want your perks, right?
Yeah.
So, and like I said, you could drop in with your perks. And see, now that gets me thinking too, is like if you drop in, like in Plunder, you get to choose your loadout. Like you die and you come right back, you can change your loadout. Um, you can choose a loadout before you start the game. In BR, you just drop right in, right? You don't get anything. You
Hmm.
get like your fists and a pistol and 2 plates. And then you have to find another plate and some more guns. Um, but with something like where you choose your loadout before the game starts, and you just drop in with your loadout and your perks, right? Um,
Yeah.
or maybe you could, I don't know, make it so you can buy perks instead of your loadout, or you buy guns instead of your perks, Or if you come back from the gulag, you lose your guns, but you keep your perks because you stayed alive,
Yeah.
you know?
I mean,
Um,
there's so many different things that they could do just to be creative.
yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things that they could implement to make it at least a little bit more exciting,
Yeah.
in terms of people having trouble with the game, allowing them the ability to, I guess, be more competitive early on, like getting your loadouts and the loadout prices. I think my other cat is crying now too. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
George, come on in. Come on. Come on, buddy. George doesn't like to be held as much, actually, at all. But okay, okay. Bye bye. Did you hear him cry?
Yeah.
He's
That
so
was funny.
talkative, dude. But yeah, plenty of things that they could do and they're not doing. But that's fine. I don't own Activision Blizzard. I don't work for them.
No. Yeah.
Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I used to want to work for them, but now I'm like the other part of. So there's like two sides of me wanting to work at Activision Blizzard. Like part of me wants to work there because it's like such a like huge company and it's a juggernaut in terms of like what they've put out, and their titles are like so well known, and they're actually great games, right? And then the other part of me is like, do I really want to work in a environment that is known to be like really hostile and like filled with harassment? No. But then
No.
I'm like, maybe I could work there and like, I don't know, be a new wave of like better people in that workspace. I don't know.
That's true. I mean, I think once you start getting up into a lot of the AAA like game studios,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of start to see a little bit of that because they were CD Project Red was getting a lot of those kind of complaints with I believe like Witcher 3 and
Mm-hmm.
Cyberpunk games. Like they were like working them to the bone. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if they were described as a hostile work environment like Blizzard and Activision, but you know, not the
Yeah.
best work environment to work in.
Yeah, and they were being pushed really hard. I think the problem with CD Projekt Red was that I think they, I don't know, maybe the title was just doomed from the start as far as Cyberpunk, um, but they were like trying to get this title pushed out because there was so much pressure from the fan base to have it, right?
Yeah,
And they had a lot to live up to because like the Witcher series was like
it's one of the
huge.
best games ever.
Yeah,
Like,
like Witcher 3. I mean, as far as like the Witcher series goes, like Witcher 3 is Witcher's already a great title, great series, and then Witcher 3 is like fucking like the cherry on top. You know,
yeah,
like I love that game. Um, so I think they were trying to live up to that, and then they had expectations to perform and pressure from the public or the fan base to get it out. They knew it wasn't really ready, but they did it anyways, you know. But then again, maybe it was doomed from the start. Maybe it just wasn't going to be that good of a game, even if they had all the time in the world to do it. But it, what my point is, like, you know, that's a lot of work that goes into it, and I'm sure that there was like pressure from management to get all that shit done because of deadlines, and then I'm sure there were people that just wanted to work on it because they love working on it. Oh my gosh, look at that freaking cat. He's got a little mustache, dude.
yeah, I know.
That cat's so
Little,
chill.
little, little Nini.
Nini? Is it a boy or
Yeah,
girl?
totally. It's a boy.
Nice.
Tortellini.
Tortellini?
Yeah.
Come here, Giorgino. Say hello.
Bye, George.
Say hi, George. George. He, George. What's wrong, buddy?
He's hanging his head.
He really is.
Yo, don't
Say
hang
hello.
your head. Keep it
It's all
up.
good. Oh, there he is. Good boy, George. Look. Oh, okay, okay, okay. See you later. Thanks for making an appearance. And he's looking at me like, so you gonna fucking pet me or like, what the fuck? What are you doing, bro? Um, dude, he's
All
like,
right.
he's a little dog cat. He likes to
Yeah.
play. He like fucking talks all the time. He like barks, and then when you play with him, he'll like play to the point where he starts panting, like a little dog. It's super cute.
That's funny.
So,
But okay, so we've been talking about these, really shitty games, but have you played? Oh, I don't think you have the Pokemon Unite game.
I've seen people play it, but I haven't played it. Have you?
Yeah, I played it a little bit.
Is it like
I
super
uh, I
awesome?
re- I really like it.
Oh
You know,
man.
I think they did a really good job on it.
Yeah.
It's super simple. Super simple MOBA. There's not like any. I know like
Man.
Smite. You can do like a whole bunch of like item customization, like
Uh huh.
equip and things like that kind of make you better throughout. You can buy, sell items as the game goes on. This has none of that. It seems like
Yeah.
it's just you just play, you defeat enemies, you
Oh
do
heck
that, and
yeah.
then you like evolve, you grow your Pokemon, and it evolves over time and learns new moves and stuff like
Ooh,
that. It's
that's
pretty
cool.
fun,
That's super
you know.
cool. Wait, is it a bit?
Activision
What
should.
what play platform is it on?
It's on Switch and Steam, I believe.
Oh, it's on Steam.
I
Ooh.
think, and I
I'll have to
think it's
look.
free.
What? That's
Oh
awesome.
no,
No.
Android, iOS, and Nintendo Switch. So it's on phones too.
Oh, okay. Dang. God, that'd be so much fun. Well, maybe I'll just have to another reason to get a Switch, right?
Yeah, there you go.
So, why? Here's the best thing. People also ask for when I put in Pokemon Unite, why is Pokemon Unite hate? I don't think that's a complete question, friend.
Why is Pokemon Unite
Hate.
hate? I don't even get that.
What? This is from Quora, so you know it's trusted source. Pokemon Unite is simply not the game that people wanted. It doesn't have the content that other games have. You could argue that it is a remake, but it simply did not work out for Unite. I don't know what that means.
Whoa.
So, does Nintendo hate its fans? That's the other question. I love how people ask these questions like there's going to be objective truth in the
Yeah.
answer, right? Like, does it hate its fan? Look, no company really hates their fans, or else they'd be out of business.
Yeah.
Nintendo doesn't hate their fans; they love them with invents and new games.
Is that an answer?
I guess this is from Quora as well, so you know it also again, it's a trusted answer. Nintendo listens T9 them too much. No, oh wait.
Oh.
Nintendo listens T9 them too such as making a system that is both console handheld, continuing popular series like Pokemon and Zelda and giving us precious childhood memories. So, one, they spelled two wrong, and they spelled it T9, and instead of much, they said such.
You know what? Some people, man.
So,
Some people. But you know, I
whatever.
think there is some truth. You know, you talk to someone like James, and James will full-heartedly support Nintendo until the day he dies. He is
Yeah.
a die-hard Nintendo Pokemon
Mm-hmm.
just lover, and that's fine. That's
That's
great. I
fine.
love Nintendo too. But then, you know, there are some people that I agree with that just think that I was listening to this guy H3 podcast.
Yeah.
I love listening to him, and one of the crew members was like, you know what? I have a unpopular opinion, and it's I dislike Nintendo. And basically, his reasons were that Nintendo is
Interesting.
constantly stuck in nostalgia. So
Mm.
each game is basically the same, and they just never really do anything
Mm-hmm.
new, I guess, other than Splatoon.
Yeah.
But, and then also, like, it's just really kind of marketed towards children, where the vast majority of the people playing are, you know, older
Older.
teenagers or adults, you know,
Yeah.
which is very valid. Like,
I'm curious to see what is Nintendo gamer demographic. Yeah, no, that's a good point because you also have to. I don't know if that's just a thing because Nintendo is like a Japanese-owned company and like a lot of their things are like we're American, right? And some
yeah,
of the things that we think are like somewhat childish or like not viewed the same in Japan. But also it's a huge like multinational company and they're global, right? So their audience is international.
yeah,
Um, who is Nintendo's target audience? People who are between the age of 15 and 30. This is according to medium.com. Um, but yeah, I would say most people that are playing these games are around like, 15 to 30. I would agree with that. So when they're making these titles, they should keep that in mind. But you also have to make it. I think that's really difficult to do. Making a game that's targeted to a user base that fits the demographics information that you have. So if their demographics information says, "Hey, most of the people playing our games are 15 to 30," you also have to make a game that's exciting to a 30-year-old, challenging enough to like a 15-year-old and 30-year-old, but also something that a 6-year-old could play.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
I mean, it is hard,
yeah,
but I mean, also his point was they've just stuck with the same like characters, like Zelda.
oh yeah.
Like there's over 200 games with Mario in it. And obviously Mario's like the face of Nintendo,
Nintendo.
but you know, especially for the Switch, how many bigger games have come out on the Switch? Not a whole lot. Mario
Yeah,
Odyssey, Zelda, Splatoon 2, or yeah, I think 2. But I
yeah.
mean, that's really it. And then a lot of them are just the remasters, the ports,
Mm-hmm.
um, which, you know, a lot of people like. But, you know, if they're going to be doing like ports, they should be like pumping more and better indie games onto the Switch. You know,
Yeah.
especially now that Steam is coming out with their own handheld. You know, you see a lot of games like Hollow Knight and Dead
Yeah.
Cells and Bad North, Celeste are all on there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's you know, I think they're gonna have to do a lot more with the indie games if they're gonna want to like compete with the Steam.
Yeah, and just looking at the games for Switch, I just put in Nintendo Switch games, and it's Zelda, Smash Bros, um, which I mean has Mario, but it's not necessarily Mario. Um, Super Mario Odyssey, Mario Kart, Super Mario World, Mario Golf, Legend of Zelda, Minecraft. So it's yeah, it's a ton of
Well, and
Mario and
even
Luigi.
yeah, and even some of the games like the Mario Kart 8 is a port from the Wii U, I'm pretty sure.
Oh really?
Like it came out in 2014. Like
It did. Yeah.
so like that's even like not even a game that was developed for Switch. It's a
For
port
Switch.
over
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah, I agree. That's a that's a good take. I mean, I wouldn't say that I dislike Nintendo, but it would be nice if they spent more time on something brand new and original. Like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was like a fantastic game and it was new, but that was simply because like when was the last Zelda game before that?
Skyward, I believe.
Yeah. But that didn't.
Or I mean, like new one, I think Skyward. They had other like remakes, like Link's Awakening
Yeah.
and things like that.
Mhm. Yeah, so it's like yeah, I would like to see them do more stuff with some original titles or a character that we haven't seen before or a character that like they put more time into. Like what if they
Yeah.
did I don't know. Was it Star Fox? Star Fox is Nintendo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if they did a whole new one of that, maybe like instead of like a
Weren't they making a Star Fox game?
you know what?
I
I
thought they
think
were.
maybe they are. Maybe they already did. I can't remember.
Uh, I think maybe it was the Battle for Atlas. Like it's a different game that had Star
Mm-hmm.
Fox introduced into it.
Uh, hmm.
But yeah, Star Fox would be good. You know, I guess it would be it wouldn't be that bad for the Switch, but I would say like an open more of an open space like spaceship fighting game, you know.
Yeah. They could turn it
That'd be
into
pretty
that.
cool.
Um, you know, or you could take a I don't know, just any character. Like take any character that hasn't had a game before that's on like Smash Bros and like make a game about their story or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
You
you
know,
know,
reimagine it or something.
it doesn't have to be I don't think it has to be like super crazy.
Yeah.
like game. I think just like adding another character into the Nintendo world, even
Yeah.
maybe partnering with like an indie game developer like a Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is like
Hollow
fucking
Knight is really great.
huge, and it's a character that's like simple and memorable. Um,
Mm-hmm.
the gameplay, it's really like intuitive and I
Mm-hmm.
guess simple for some people, not for me. But I mean, it's hard to create a character that everyone loves as much as Mario, but I think people are just thinking that it's like they're banking on that nostalgia factor, which they
Yeah.
are in a sense.
Yeah, and I think that's just kind of uh, I don't know. Maybe it's not really Nintendo like striving for the nostalgia factor. Maybe it's something that people place on Nintendo simply because it's Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe it's nostalgic because Nintendo's been around since we were kids, since our like parents were kids. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Or like teenagers or something like that. I think when did technically Nintendo's been out since like the 1800s, but I don't know when they started making like video games. I can't remember.
I don't know.
Um, Nintendo was like a card game company at first.
Yeah.
Let's find out, when did Nintendo?
Okay, and then I'm just looking. I typed in Star Fox. Did you ever play Star Fox Adventures?
No, I didn't.
Okay, my brother was obsessed with Star Fox Adventures. It was like a Legend of Zelda Star Fox game
Uh huh.
where you'd go around and it was like more of like an open world fighting
See,
game.
that sounds awesome.
Dude, it was so cool, but like it didn't get the greatest reviews,
Yeah,
and
that's a
no one
bummer.
really knew about it.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds rad. Like, especially if you could get out and
I think
venture to
what
like
was
from like planet to planet and then fly around and do flying uh, levels and stuff.
Oh, it is Rare. It is made by Rare, like in Star
Yeah,
Fox. But apparently, this game, the Star Fox Adventures, you'll notice it looks different than other Star Fox, and that's because it
yeah.
was supposed to be a brand new franchise for the Nintendo 64,
Mm-hmm.
but it was skinned with Star Fox and forced an ending with Andross that didn't really fit the story.
Huh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this game looks. I'm looking at images right now. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, it
Like
was
the
like a cool
graphics
game.
look like really sharp.
Yeah,
When did this come out?
2002.
2002.
Yeah,
Yeah, that looks good for a game that came out in 2002. Came out for the GameCube. Nice.
yeah, that just brought back some memories.
Yeah, man. Anytime I think of Rare, I always think of Donkey Kong. You know. Oh, they make Sea of Thieves too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been wanting to play Sea of Thieves.
Do you have it?
No,
No. Get it. We'll
I can get
play.
it though. Okay.
Um, do you have Game Pass?
No.
No. That's fine. I don't know how much Sea of Thieves is, but if you have Game Pass, it's free. But yeah, if you get it, let's play. I haven't played it in a while, but like when I first started streaming, Sea of Thieves was what I was playing. I have a friend that I play with, like her and her cousin, and we play all the
Hmm.
time, or we used to play all the time, and it's like it's so much fun. Because all you do is just go around, you freaking go to different islands or go different places, you find treasure, you fight bosses and stuff, and then it's like PvP and PvE.
Yeah,
So,
I played it like for like a week or two
oh, you have played it
cuz
before? Okay.
yeah. But that was like a few years ago now, and I've heard that it's like they've come out with a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, I haven't played since the new update, like the Pirates of the Caribbean update, but I
Yeah.
like really, really, really want to. Um, but it's like for me, it's more fun to play with people, and like the people that I play with, like she's constantly working. She's a manager at a GameStop,
Yeah.
and so she's like just constantly busy. And then I play with her cousin, I just always play the game with him when I play with her. So, but
Hmm.
if you get it, let me know and we'll play
Yeah.
and we'll set up a thing so we can all play together.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. It's like one of those open world things where you go wherever you want to go.
Yeah, it was fun. I've been watching a lot of other people play it, and
Yeah, yeah.
pretty chill.
It is one of my favorite games for sure. Um, Now that Call of Duty, I've moved on from Call of Duty. I've started playing more Valorant. I don't know
Oh
if you've
yeah,
seen gameplay from that or played it before, but
I like
it's
watching Valorant gameplay.
dude, they have a game mode right now that they're cycling through called Snowball Fight,
Yeah,
and it is, I think, probably the most fun I've had playing a video game like first person shooter in a long time.
really.
Long time. Um, it was so much fun. I love it. Like I got a couple clips that I'll probably like post later. Um, but yeah, it's just like
What
watch
like it's a is it like the other game modes? What's Snowball?
So
Describe
snowball
it to me.
fight is you have no abilities and you have one gun, which is a snowball launcher or like snowball like gun.
Yeah.
Um, Same movement applies, but every once in a while, like gift boxes will drop down and they'll have certain perks. So one of the perks will have like will be ice skates, which gives you the ability to like basically glide around the map and you're super fast.
Mhm.
You have rapid fire, which makes your like snowball launcher shoot faster. You have grow ball, so that way when the snowball comes out of the weapon, it like gets larger and larger until it uh, impacts something. Um, and then you have ricochet, which is another one, which makes the snowballs like bounce off of walls and stuff. And they last for maybe like I don't know, 15 seconds or so.
Okay.
Um, but it's basically like team deathmatch, but snowball fight. Um, and the first to 50 kills wins. Um, but yeah, I think one Shroud posted a video of snowball fight. It was like one of the top things that I found when I searched like Valorant snowball fight, and
Yeah.
God, it's just so much fun.
Dang.
So I might play that after if it's still. I don't know how long they're gonna keep it as part of the game because they're cycling through like alternative game modes right now, but
Hmm.
we'll see. It came out for the first time in I think like November or December of 2020. So it's like a winter thing, obviously,
Oh, okay.
but they're just cycling through it right now for whatever reason. So, but that's the one that I've been playing the most of in like my downtime. And the match is like anywhere between like 5 and 7 minutes. So it's like really quick if I'm like waiting for something or something to cook or I'm just chilling for a couple minutes, I'll usually play that. Because the thing with Valorant too is like if you play competitive, like Spike Rush or whatever, like those games can last pretty long. So,
Okay.
but yeah, that's enough of me fucking going on about
I
this.
was just looking at Valorant, and it doesn't take a whole lot of computer power, so I'm downloading it.
Might give it a shot.
I might give it a shot.
Nice.
See what's up.
Yeah, that'd be really cool if you're able to play it. We play together. That'd be cool. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Um, so let me know as soon as you're good to go.
Yeah. And you know what? You know what the one thing I kind of really want to do is I've been playing on this TV, my Xbox on this TV
Mm-hmm.
for man, it's got to be like 6, 7 years now.
Yeah, that's a whole TV.
I want to go and get like a nice like monitor,
Yeah.
like a kind of a bigger little monitor cuz right now we have like so we have my TV that's right in front
Uh huh.
and then we have the Roku right on top. So it's a dual TV
Ooh.
um thing going on.
Mm-hmm.
which is nice. But oh, that's the Roku or the thing I keep hearing.
Yeah.
It's the robot vacuum, I
The
think.
Roomba.
The Roomba.
You're like, what the hell?
I don't know. I was like, what the heck is that? I thought it was like someone coming in.
I'm getting
But
robbed by the Roomba.
yeah, I want to get like a nice like little monitor because I mean I only play like this far from the TV,
Yeah, yeah.
so it's like little monitor would be nice.
I got a monitor. Well, I have two monitors. And one I got them because school. Like I always needed like another monitor because I was like in class. So I'd have class on one monitor and then like my files on another monitor, either Excel or my notes or something on the other monitor.
Mhm.
So that's really what I like first got it for. And then I also wanted to get a monitor that could handle the gameplay too. And
Yeah,
it's pretty nice. Like I have a, it's called a Scepter, and by no means is it like top of the line, but it does it's fine, does well, and like you said, I'm like always this close anyways. You know, I'm like
yeah,
even when I played on my TV back there, I would always like bring my chair like right up to like right here because my TV's like right there.
yeah,
So, but yeah, do it, and they're not that expensive.
yeah. I mean they're not that bad.
Yeah, I'm sure you could probably get one that's super expensive, but you don't necessarily need it.
No,
So,
especially for me.
well, yeah. So, um, it's about an hour. I'm like I said, I'm getting hungry,
Me too.
and I got to get some food, and then I also have to drive down to down south today for a I'm going to a taco night at a friend's house.
Whoa, taco night.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Dang, sounds
So,
good.
dude, it better be good, or I'm gonna be upset.
Send me a piece of that taco.
I like corn. Send me a piece of that corn for later. But yeah, dude, let me know how it goes downloading that game if you can handle it, and then also on the Xbox if you want to get a Sea of Thieves, let me know.
Yeah, we'll
Get
do,
started
man.
on that stuff, man. Be
I
super
know.
fun. All right, duder.
All
Everybody,
right.
thanks for coming out. Thanks for being here. It was a good conversation today. Still trying to work things out with the YouTube live and see how things are going. But yeah, this is a good one. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
See y'all
it was
later.
real good.